Your Industry 5.0 plan is going to fail. Not because it's a bad plan, it might be brilliant. It will fail for the same reason you can't put a second story on a house that has no ground floor. Right now, boards across the UK and Europe are approving 5.0 strategies. Human-centric, sustainable, resilient, all the right words. And the most of those companies are quietly still running on Industry 3.0. You can't skip a generation. In the next 15 minutes, I'll show you the real difference between 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0 industries, and why the honest plan for almost everyone is get to Industry 4.0 first.
Digital transformation time. Digital transformation time.
I am Sergey Irisov. I build audit-grade digital environments in deep tech that has to pass certification: green aviation, nuclear, electronics, or automotive. I've watched organizations buy the future before they own the present. So this isn't a theory. Two promises for this video. If you're a founder or an exec, you live able to tell whether your transformation plan is honest or a fantasy. If you're a tech lead, you live with the criteria to know which generation your operations is actually on, not which one the slide deck claims. Let's start by clearing up what these numbers even mean, because most people get them wrong. Quick history, because the pattern matters. Industry 1.0 was steam. Machines replaced muscle. Industry 2.0 was electricity and the assembly line. Henry Ford, mass production, scale. Each one didn't replace the last. It was built on top of it. You don't get an assembly line without first having machines. Hold that thought. It's the whole point of the video. Industry 3.0, from around the 1970s, was the computer and automation revolution. PLCs, robots on the line, your first ERP system, got replaced on the drawing board, machines started running themselves with programmed logic. This is the generation most companies are actually on right now, and I'll prove that with the numbers in a minute. Industry 4.0 and 5.0 are where it gets blurry and where the marketing takes over. So let's slow down and do them properly, because the difference between 3.0 and 4.0 is the difference that decides whether your 5.0 dream is even possible. Here is the cleanest way to tell 3.0 from 4.0. Industry 3.0 is automation. A machine does a task by itself following fixed logic. Industry 4.0 is connection. Those machines, systems, and data talk to each other in real time, and the system can respond to what's actually happening. 3.0 automates the step. 4.0 connects the whole flow and makes it visible. A robot welding the same part the same way for 10 years, that's 3.0, no matter how advanced the robot is. The same cell telling your planning system it's about to fail, rerouting the order, and updating the digital record automatically, that's 4.0. Want a brutal test for your own operation? 3 questions. 1. If a machine on your floor has a problem right now, does the rest of your system know automatically? Or does someone walk over to find out? 2. Is your production data flowing into your planning and your engineering records on its own, or is someone exporting spreadsheets on a Friday? 3. Can you see the true state of your operation in real time, or only after someone compiles a report? If the answer is a human bridges the gap, you're running 3.0 with some 4.0 islands, and that is completely normal. It's where most of the economy actually is. Now, 5.0. There is a lot of mysticism around it, so let's be plain. If 4.0 asked how do we connect everything and optimize it, Industry 5.0 asks, now that it's connected, How do we make it human-centric, sustainable, and resilient? It's not a new set of machines, it's a new set of priorities layered on top of a connected system, putting the human back in the loop as the decision maker, designing for sustainability, building resilience so the system survives shocks. Notice the hidden assumption in every single one of those goals. All of them assume the connection already exists. You cannot make a system human-centric if humans can't even see its real-time state. You can't optimize for sustainability if your energy and material data isn't flowing. You can't build resilience on a system that needs a person with a spreadsheet to know what's happening. 5.0 is a story built on the 4.0 flaw. The goals are genuinely good. They're just not your next step if the flaw isn't put yet. I said I'd prove most companies are still on 3.0. Here is the evidence, and it's stuck. The World Economic Forum has repeatedly found that around 70% of Industry 4.0 projects never make it past the pilot phase. 7 in 10. They run a proof of concept, it works in one corner of one factory, and it never scales. McKinsey found companies run on average 8 digital transformation projects, and fewer than a third get implemented at scale. Other industry research puts it harder. About 75% of pilots fail to scale, and firms spend 2 to 3 years stuck in what's literally called pilot purgatory. Only about a quarter to a third of manufacturers are estimated to have actually reached the scale stage of digital initiatives. And in Europe, roughly half of companies are even actively working on Industry 4.0 at all. The rest are using a few technologies selectively or are still planning. In the UK specifically, productivity keeps lagging precisely because adoption is slow. Put it together. If 70% of 4.0 projects die in pilot and only a quarter of manufacturers have scaled, then the typical company, including statistically probably yours, is not on 4.0. It has a few 4.0 islands sitting on a 3.0 operation. And that is the company writing a 5.0 strategy. That's the gap between the plan and the floor it's standing on. So what actually happens when you write a 5.0 plan on a 3.0 operation? You buy human-centric dashboards that show stale data because the data isn't flowing in real time, so people stop trusting them. You commit to sustainability targets you can't measure because the energy and material data lives in disconnected systems. You promise resilience to your board, then a single supplier hiccup blinds you for a week because nothing talks to anything. The plan doesn't fail loudly, it fails quietly as expensive software that digitizes your existing disconnection. Which, if you've seen my other videos, is the same failure pattern behind most digital transformations. Buying a tool instead of building the operating model underneath it. Here is the honest plan, and it's good news, not bad. Stop treating 5.0 as your destination and start treating it as your direction. Your next actual step is to finish the 4.0 flow. Get your systems connected, get your data flowing in real time, get a single trustworthy picture of your operation. Boring? Maybe. But it's the work that makes every 5.0 goal human-centric, sustainable, resilient. Suddenly, achievable instead of aspirational. If you're an exec, don't cancel the 5.0 vision. Sequence it. Ask your team one question. Is our data actually connected in real life? If the honest answer is no, that's your roadmap for the next 18 months. And it's the most valuable thing you can fund. If you're a tech lead, you now have the language to push back on a fantasy timeline without sounding negative. You're not saying no to 5.0. You're saying, here is the floor we pour first. Same destination, honest sequence. Recap. 3.0 automates, 4.0 connects, 5.0 adds human-centric, sustainable, resilient priorities on top of that connection. The data says most companies are still on 3.0 with a few 4.0 islands, which is why most 5.0 plans are a story with no floor beneath it. The fix isn't to abandon 5.0, it's to pour the 4.0 floor first. If this changed how you read your own transformation plan, subscribe. I break down exactly how to build that connected floor without drowning your team in process. And be honest in the comments. Run my 3-question test. Is your operation really on 4.0 or 3.0 with islands? I read every answer.
Digital transformation time. Digital transformation time.